Hey VC, it's Jonathan, your cheap and cheerful record collector. I hope everybody's doing well and surviving these super hot weather. Not too bad here in Maine. We're only about 87 today, so not bad at all. But I know the rest of the country is boiling. So all I can say is walk slow, stay cool, drink a lot of water, wear a hat, do the obvious stuff. Take care of yourselves, basically. I got a crazy amount of records to show you. So recently, I got some great stuff at Goodwill. We have a local college radio station here in Southern Maine from the University of Southern Maine, WMPG, and they once a year have a big record sale, big fundraiser, and they sell their records, plus people donate records. They haven't had it for 2 years now. I went a week or so ago, picked up 25 records, I guess. Couldn't resist. And then, a guy had a ad on Facebook Marketplace that he was selling records. And I remember the guy because I went to his place like a year ago, Father's Day. He had a big sale. He's a guitar builder. He's a luthier. And he has lots of records. And he had probably 1,000, 1,500 albums out. And I got a couple from him. Spent a little more on his stuff. The Goodwill stuff was all $2, and the stuff I got at WMPG, the records, the radio station, were all $1 each. So hard to turn that down for $1 each. All right, some crazy stuff. So let's get on it right away. First up is John Lee Hooker, and this is his album, Never Get Out of These Blues Alive. You might know this better as the cover where he's getting on a bus carrying his guitar. That was from 1972, and was released originally in Quad. This is the Pickwick cheaper repress, but sounds great, and for $1, you can't pass it up. Big John Lee Hooker fan. You all know the Pickwick label. And on this album, you have Elvin Bishop from Paul Butterfield Blues Band playing guitar and Country Boy. And on the song Never Get Out of These Blues Alive, you have Van Morrison singing with John. So a great album. John Lee Hooker, Never Get Out of These Blues Alive. Sticking with the blues. This is an upgrade for me. I already had it, but this is cleaner than mine. And it's John Mayall, Bare Wire. A lot of people on here, I don't know that much about them. Usually I'm pretty up to date on his musicians he has in his band. But a lot of these guys I don't know. Mick Taylor's on here. Okay, that's enough. That's all you need to know. Mick Taylor's on here. And this one, I got my list here. London Records, New York. Don't see a date on it. Doesn't matter. Good blues album. John Mayall. This was a real find. This is an original 1956 mono Memphis Slim Chicago blues, boogie woogie, and blues played by and sung by Memphis Slim with Jump Jackson drums and R.B. Stidham on guitar. This is so great. And I was sort of hesitant because it looked pretty scratched, but these old Folkway albums clean up real nice, and I guess, I don't know, because they're heavier vinyl, they're deeper groove cut, but cleaned up so nice and plays beautifully. If I had a mono cartridge, it would probably sound even better. But he does boogie woogie, piano styles, Alberta, Scandinavian boogie, The Big Race, Chicago Rent Party, a lot of, and mostly instrumentals, but smoking record, Memphis Slim. Then he had 2 other albums by this artist. I don't have enough by him, I only have a couple, so I had to grab it. And it's the great Elmore James. And this is on Phoenix 10 Records, 1982, obviously a compilation. I think I paid a little more than I should have for this, but that's okay. He does It Hurts Me Too, Gotta Find My Baby, Catfish Blues, Mean Mistreat of Mama, Shake Your Money Maker, Dust My Broom, Bleeding Heart, Look Over Yonder Walls. The great Elmore James. Can never have enough Elmore James in your collection, especially if you're a blues hound like me. And there's another Elmore James, and this is Elmore James, a Chicago 6 Golden Years single album with John Brim, who I don't know. And the album is called Whose Muddy Shoes. Turns out John Brim wrote the song Ice Cream Man from 1953. All these songs to 1953 up to 1960 is the latest one. John Brim plays on a couple of them, mostly they're Elmore James. Little Walter plays harmonic on a couple. Jimmy Reed plays harp on a couple of them. This is a French pressing, a French chest pressing, and cleaned up really nice. And like I said, can't have enough Elmore James in your collection. I'm at the WMPG Record Fair, and I'm digging through the records, and they have boxes and boxes of records all laid out. And I see this record, and I said, it's got to be destroyed. There's no way they can put this out being in good condition. Nina Simone. This is High Priestess of Soul, an original mono pressing from I can't look it up now. I think it's from the 60s on Philips. She does Brown Eyed Handsome Man, Take Me to the Water, which is fantastic. I'm Coming Back Home, Work Song, Love My Baby, He Ain't Coming Home No More. Just fantastic. A big Nina Simone fan ever since, I guess I must have told this before, when I was about 12 years old, 1963. My parents took me to see Nina Simone in Long Island, New York. And she sang her song, Mississippi Goddamn. And I was so shocked. Goddamn, I can't believe she used that words. It's a more innocent time. Nina Simone, High Priestess of Soul, for $1. Forget about it. Sticking with jazz now. This one, it's okay. I can't resist Gene Ammons, sax player, all recorded 1950, with Sonny Stitt, Duke Jordan, Art Blakey, Bill Massey, etc. It's sort of, they have blues up and down. They have 3 different takes of it. You Can Depend on Me. They have 2 takes of that. I really don't need 3 different takes of one song. But again, for $1 on the Prestige label, Purple Prestige, Blues Up and Down Volume 1. Can't let it sit there for $1. Next one is one that I didn't know this gentleman, but about a year or so ago, they had one of his records for Record Store Day, and I never heard of him up until then. And when I saw this at the record fair for $1, I grabbed it. Bunk Johnson. Bunk Johnson was one of the original New Orleans trumpet players. Played from the turn of the last century, turn of the first century, 20th century. Played all over. Didn't record much. Story is he got into a fight in the 1930s and has front couple of teeth busted out and couldn't play anymore. And it wasn't until the 1940s that someone rediscovered him and they put some money together, was able to get him dentures and get him a new trumpet, and he started playing again. This was recorded at Carnegie Recital Hall in New York in 1947. Classic New Orleans Dixieland jazz, but just so great. Bunk Johnson, and this is on a Columbia 6i. Then when I was at the guy who makes guitars, he had a bunch of records. Again, I paid up for these, probably more than I should have, but I don't care because I wanted the music, and it's all about the music. I'm a big fan of this guy, Sonny Rollins. This is an OJC from 1970s, I think. Just the sound of Sonny. Actually, from the early 80s, that's what it was. Early 80s, white label, Riverside. I mean, it's so great with Sonny Clark, Percy Heath, or Paul Chambers on a couple. Roy Haynes. Recorded June 12th, 11th, 12th, and 19th, 1957. Fantastic. Big Sonny Rollins fan. I want to go in. Come on. I'll do that later. There you go. Sonny Rollins. Sounds of Sonny. Also, in that group of records, Sonny Rollins and Thelonious Monk, another OJC from early 80s. Also on, this on Prestige, copy of the original Prestige label. And this is great, with Thelonious Monk, Sonny Rollins, Julius Watkins, Percy Heath, Willie Jones. There's a trio with Percy Heath and Art Blakey, and a couple other cuts. Just fantastic. He does, they don't even list the songs. It's so weird. They give you, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Friday the 13th, Work, Nutty, The Way You Look Tonight, I Want to Be Happy, recorded in 1954, 53 and 54. I mean, if you watch my channel at all, you know I think Monk is the greatest musician of the 20th century. I can't get enough Monk. And Sonny Rollins together, the two of them, fantastic. I was with Brian from Shamrock and Records at Goodwill a week or so ago, and I walk in with him and I go, they never have anything here. And he grabs this record. He was going to resell it. And he goes, no, I know you like this guy, take it. So I was happy, I'm glad he let me buy it. And it's Coleman Hawkins. And this is The Hawk Flies. It's part of that specially priced 2 LP set from Milestone Records. Cleaned up really nice. It was filthy when I got it. But a little spin clean, a little elbow grease. Sounds really nice. And it's a compilation of The Hawk. Nothing wrong with the compilation. Let me see what it says here. The Bean. With Fats Narvo, J.J. Johnson, Milt Jackson, Max Roach, etc., etc. Recorded 1957, 1949, 1946. There you go. The Hawk. Another one from the WMPG. Oh, by the way, if you stream radio stations, you should check out WMPG. They have some great shows. They have a Monday morning show called South by Southwest, and it's all country music, but it's nothing recorded after 1972. So it's all 50s and 60s, sometimes 40s country music. There's a Frank Zappa show late at night. There's a show during the day where they do current pop music from Africa. They always have great stuff on there. So if you do that kind of thing, I would definitely check them out. While I was there, Ella Fitzgerald, Ella Swings Lightly, produced by Norman Gantz. The band was conducted by Marty Patch. Just great. Little White Lies, You Hit the Spot, Teardrops from My Eyes, My Kind of Love, If I Were a Bell, You Brought a New Kind of Love to Me. Very mellow, very cool. Love Ella, First Lady of Swing. What a great voice. Always have loved Ella. So whenever I can see an Ella in decent condition. Oh, this is also an original mono, which is sort of nice. I keep thinking I got to get myself another turntable with a mono cartridge. Maybe this is the year I do that. Also, I was there again for $1. Larry Coryell and Philip Catherine. I have one of their other albums they put out. Love Larry Coryell. Got to see him a couple times at Slugs in New York City in the early 70s. Great fusion jazz. Great guitar player. It was recorded in London, I want to say 1977, on the Elektra Butterfly label. So whenever I see anything by Larry Coryell, especially for $1, I gotta grab it. Excuse me. Here we go. Iced tea, lemonade. That's my summer drink. How about Oscar Peterson and Dizzy Gillespie? No band, just the two of them, back and forth. Recorded 1974 in London. On Pablo, two giants of jazz, just trading licks back and forth for a whole album. Fantastic. Blues for Bird, Alone Together, Close Your Eyes, Autumn Leaves, Mozambique, Caravan. There you go. Dizzy and Oscar. Gotta love it. All right, now we go into more folky country pop music. I knew of this band, obviously, but I didn't have this album. Been sort of looking for it. If it popped up, I would grab it. I was really happy to see it there and jump right on it. And it's Fairport Convention. This is Leaf and Liege. This is with Sandy Denny and the young Richard Thompson. Amazing record. Really early folk rock. Richard Thompson just like is all over this thing with his guitar. Just amazing. And Sandy Denny, what a voice. What a voice. Also have Dave Matter and Ashley Hutchins, Simon Nicole, Eric Hayes. Just great. It really is all over the place. I mean, some parts of this, some of the songs are very English folky, and then some songs are like psychedelic, and Richard Thompson just takes over, just blows the roof off. So definitely recommend this one. This one, again, I think I paid up for this one, but again, who cares? I'm really getting into the what they call newgrass. Last time I showed a Sam Bush album, and this is one I saw and had to grab. It's Jerry Douglas, and this is his album Hang In There. Oh, I'm sorry, Under the Wire. And that's his son, supposedly. He said his son had a fun time making that cover. There's Jerry Douglas, and this has, besides Jerry, has Mark O'Connor, Bella Fleck, Russ Barnberg, Edgar Meyer, etc. So Bella Fleck, Jerry Douglas, he can't go wrong. Mark O'Connor, what a great record. And it sounds great, man. It really came out really nice, cleaned up really nice. And it's on MCA Master Series. So if you're into that newgrass, Jerry Douglas, great. Another one, this is interesting. I was watching Mazzy's video a week or so ago, actually right before I went out, and I watched it on like Saturday night, and he showed this record. He said, if you want to really test your system, you need this record for acoustic guitar, and it sounds fantastic. You really can see how your system sounds. I went out the next day, and I went to that guy who's the guitar player, and popped right up. I had to grab it. So this is, again, a newgrass album. Norman Blake, Sam Bush, Dave Holland, Vassar Clemens. It's just spectacular. Sweet Georgia Brown, Sauerkraut and Solar Energy, A-Train, Vassar and Dave. Came with the original liner notes, which is so cool. And on a very plain label, HDS, whoever that is. But wow, what a great album. 1975, what a great freaking album. Mazzy hit this one right on the head. Sounds amazing. And it has the original sticker from Recordland here in Portland, Maine, which is no more. Recordland, $5.19. Interestingly, I used to own a men's clothing store here in Portland, and my store was in the same space that Recordland was. There you go, Recordland. Another newgrass album, J.D. Crowe and the New South. My home ain't in the Hall of Fame. I mean, all these records, I just love this stuff. You got J.D. Crowe, Keith Whitley, Jimmy Goudreau, Jim Mashby on drums, Doug Jernigan, I guess, on dobro and steel guitar, Steve Bryan electric bass, and Bobby Sloan on fiddle. J.D. Crowe in the New South. Love this record. On Rounder. You know, the Rounder, I said last time, whenever I see anything on Rounder, I'm gotta grab it. What a great, if you like that stuff, killer. This one's great. So beat, I don't know if I can keep it. It's just, I really was excited to see it because I've never seen it before. And I said, I can save this one. I cleaned it twice. I don't think I can save it. It's not in good shape at all. It's John Hartford, Nobody Knows What You Do. Original pressing on Flying Fish. There's the Flying Fish. Another label where I always, when I see something on Flying Fish, I always try to grab it. It's just so noisy. There's so many scratches, pops and nicks. I just find it takes away the joy of the album, which is a shame because it's really good, but I can't do it. Recorded at the Sound Shop in Nashville, Tennessee, 1975. The only one, this cover only was the original. After that, they changed the covers on it, so that's why I grabbed it. Another bluegrassy kind of album, Eric Weisberg and Deliverance. Eric Weisberg was the guy that played the guitars in the movie Deliverance. Anyway, this is Eric Weisberg, Riding the Country. Really quite good. Rural Free Delivery is the album. Rural Free Delivery. Eric Weisberg. Steve Mandel, Charlie Brown, Tony Brown, and Richard Crooks. Doesn't give me information when it was recorded. 1973. On Warner Brothers. And it's really good. Cleaned up nice. Some of it's a little too poppy for me, but it's pretty good. Another one. I mean, I just keep getting. I can't say no. I'm addicted. How about Burt Jansch and John Renbourn? I got a lot of their albums singly, and a couple together. This I'd never had this one before. This is Stepping Stones, on Vanguard. There's the Vanguard label, and this is great. They are Scottish. I think they're Scottish. I think they're Scottish folk singers. Great guitar players, great singers. Highly recommended. There they are. Cover's beat, as you can see, but the record cleaned up pretty decent. Love that. Also, Fred Neil. You know Fred Neil? Fred Neil was part of that 60s folk group in New York City. He wrote the Nielsen song that Nielsen did for Midnight Cowboy. Everybody's Talking. He wrote it. This is his version of it. He was in the scene for a couple of years and then got fed up with the scene, left, moved to Florida, and spent the rest of his life working with dolphins and whales, mostly dolphins, in Florida. And that ended up being his life's work. But this is his album, Everybody's Talking. Fred Neil. This came out at Record Store Day a couple of years ago. I think gold vinyl. I bought that one. This is the Capitol pressing. It's good. It's sometimes a little too sincere. But he has Sweet Cocaine on here. Green Rocky Road. That's the Bag I'm In. I Got a Secret. The Dolphins. And the Dolphins is one of his songs. And of course, Everybody's Talking. Let's see what else. Oh, here. I know now, I didn't know then when I bought it, that this is considered by many people the worst album this musician ever put out. But I figured I didn't know it. It was cheap. It's Bob Dylan. And this is Down in the Groove. When I looked it up later, I found out that it was recorded over a period of like 3 or 4 years using different musicians in different studios all around the country, around the world, and there's no cohesion to it. They say it's pretty terrible. I haven't heard it yet, but I will give it a spin for sure on Columbia. Let's Stick Together, When Did You Leave Heaven, Sally Sue Brown, Death Is Not the End, Had a Dream About You Baby, Ugliest Girl in the World, 90 Miles an Hour, Shenandoah, Rank Stranger to Me. If anybody knows this album or is aware of it, let me know what you think, because from what I read, the worst he put out. Only about 10 to 15 more records about the show today. All right. It's a girl group. Love their vocalization, their harmonies, and it's the Roaches. Maggie, Suzy, and Terry. Unfortunately, I think Suzy is the one who passed away not that long ago. Haven't had a chance to spin this one yet, but I'm looking forward to it. Just looking for a date on it. Bear with me a second. Don't got a date. Don't got a date. 85. There you go. 1985. The Roaches, Another World. Came with the lyric sheet. Happy to see that. Always good. And it's on Warner Brothers. The white Warner Brothers label. The story I heard about the Roaches is that they were living in New York City and they saw there was a class being taught at the NYU, New York University Adult Ed, of songwriting. And the professor was a P. Simon. So they went, it was Paul Simon. They met Paul Simon. He took them under his wing and worked with them on writing songs. And that's how they ended up doing a lot with that. Also another Goodwill find. Jefferson Airplane. I mean, who doesn't have Surrealistic Pillow? However, this is not a first, but a very early mono pressing. So I have a stereo, which I knew quite well. I was really happy to get a mono pressing of this. Again, it's not a first pressing, but it's an early pressing, and it's in monaural. Sounds very good, cleaned up good. There you go. Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow. Now I got a couple. I'll do this one next. This was also at the MPG Record Fair. I didn't realize it made in Portugal. Not that it really matters, but it's the Pretenders 2. I don't know this record well at all, so I'm looking forward to digging into it. Portuguese pressing. I don't have any Pretenders anymore, so that's sort of cool. Let's save this for last. All right. Harvey Mandel. Harvey Mandel played with Canned Heat at Woodstock. Harvey Mandel plays blues guitar all since the early 60s. This is a great album. He doesn't sing. He has this guy, Russell Dashel, does all the singing. Harvey and Larry Taylor's on here, who was in Canned Heat as well. Leaving Trunk, a Sleepy John Esty song, Honky Tonk, I Don't Need No Doctor, Dry Your Eyes, Senior Blues from Horace Silver, and Games People Play. This is called Guitars People Play, and this is from the 72. Harvey Mandel on the Phillips label. Big Harvey Mandel fan, and I just heard recently that he's very sick, and they're trying to raise money for his medical care. And like I always say, only in America do you get sick and you can't afford to get better, that you have to end up paying insane amount of money for your medical treatment. Don't get me started. Okay, here's one. Always been in the back of my mind. It hasn't been up front. It isn't like I have to have it. If I ever see it, I'm going to grab it. A little off the beaten track for me, not something I would normally gravitate towards. Cher. And this is her album, 3614 Jackson Highway, which is the address of Muscle Shoals. So this is all recorded in Muscle Shoals. There's the cover. There's Cher. They're all covers. For What It's Worth, Keep Me Hanging On, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, Tonight I'll Be Staying With You, I Threw It All Away, Lay Baby Lay, Cry Like a Baby, Do Right Woman. It's pretty great. She's got pipes, and she doesn't really overdo it. Muscle Shoals, this funky band behind her, and I know it's a rare record, hard to find, so I saw this, I had to grab it. It's on the Atco label, CTH pressing. So yeah, if you like that Muscle Shoals funk, I would give this a try if you ever see it. Cher, 3614 Jackson Highway, 1969. I think this came out. Came out to terrible reviews. Oh yeah, actually, wrong. Came out with really good reviews, but wasn't accepted by her people, by anybody. Her people thought it was too funky, and people like me would never even think of listening to it back then. So that didn't happen. All right, two more, and the two, say the best for last. It's both Goodwill finds. Hang on to your hats. Warren Zevon, first album. Who brings this to Goodwill and drops it off? I don't know, but it's all about timing. I was there as he was putting them out. I was digging through. The guy comes up with this blue bin. He takes about 10, 15, 20 records, sticks them out. I start going through them, and I was like, oh my God. I have it. This one is a little bit better than mine. Close to being about the same quality as mine that I already had. But if you don't know this record, I mean, if all you know is some of his other albums, you got to get this one. Frank and Jesse James, Hasten Down the Wind, Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me, Desperados Under the Eaves, Carmelita, Muhammad's Radio. It's a freaking fantastic album. And then the last one, $2 at Goodwill. I mean, come on. Seriously? It's not a first press because it's not in gate. I guess the original came in gatefold, so it's a later repress, but not that much later. I'm not a fan. I like Fleetwood Mac with Peter Green, and right after that, by the time they started adding Stevie Nicks, etc., came too poppy for me. But I know it's worth a lot of money, a lot more than $2. I played it once or twice, and the music's okay. Music's good. They can play. Her voice grates on me like nails on a blackboard. I can't take her voice at all. Sounds like a goat braying. Not for me. But to find this for $2 at Goodwill, that's insane. Okay, so that's the video for today. If you like what you saw, please give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe to my channel. I'm going to try building my channel. I'm going to try making videos on a more consistent basis. I got to get a different setup. And yeah, be on the lookout. I got more stuff coming. I'm going to have another video hopefully this weekend. And I'm going to try to have at least 2 videos a week from now on. So tune in. Or as Timmy Leary used to say, tune in, turn on, and drop out. Hey, thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.